Se tiver alguém aí, estou ao vivo. Iremos acompanhar o Patch Note. Quando é Patch Note é neste canal aqui, é na Twitch, é aqui também. Patch Notes. E sejam bem-vindos, quem estiver por aí. E Miniboy, Falei Vitor Medeiros, Lenilson. 20 minutinhos pro Patch Note. Patch Note que a gente já conhece, né? Ao menos que tenha alguma alteração. Não entendi o porquê que ele está fazendo isso. Falei, Pedro. Mas vamos acompanhar aqui. Espero que vocês estejam ansiosos para o Patch Note. Porque eu não estou nada ansioso para o Patch Note. Voltou a live no YouTube? Não. É só quando tem Patch Note. Eu faço Patch Note aqui no YouTube. Mas a gente já vai pra Twitch assim que acabar o Patch Note, beleza? E em Mencila, eu não via live faz tempo. Por que, Miniboy? O que aconteceu que você não via live faz tempo? Conta pra nós. Conta pra nós, eu, que você não via live faz tempo. Por quê? E aí, Green Hawkins Ayers. Conta pra gente aí, ó. Por que você não via live faz tempo? Você tava com algum problema? Internet, alguma coisa assim? E aí, curioso? Conta aí pra nós aí, ó. Se usa além do item Frostbound, eu não entendo. Os outros hammers, poderia explicar? Falei, Vitor Medeiros, posso sim, cara. Só não posso explicar agora que eu não vou abrir o Smite agora. Mas eu posso explicar na hora que a gente for pra live lá no Face. Eu te explico direitinho, fica tranquilo. Ah, entendi, Miniboy. Sirius, como tá o seu amor platônico pela Samira Close? Nunca amei a Samira Close, cara. Meu amor é pela Queen Bee. A Samira é só uma admiração. Vamos aguardar o Patch Note começar, que vai demorar um pouquinho, 20 minutinhos. Que saudades desse Smite, sério? Será que o Smite está tão bom assim? Eu não sei se está tão bom assim. Eu. Você faz live na Twitch TV? Fala, Lenilson. E aí, Pluri, as minhas live streams são no Facebook, galera. Eu tenho uma fanpage lá, é facebook.com/SeriousJogador. As minhas live streams são lá, todos os dias às 18 horas. Se você não precisa receber estrelas, você já é uma. Obrigado, mas eu preciso sim. As live streams aqui no YouTube e na Twitch TV, elas são só quando tá rolando o Patch Note. Você já fez alguma build de Aracne no canal? Sim. Atualizada? Não. Ainda não. Então fiquem ligados, porque as minhas live streams de verdade, entendeu? São lá no Facebook. Me segue lá no Facebook. facebook.com/SeriousJogador. Qual a sua opinião sobre Camazotes? Sirius quer ser o meu Webs? O que é isso, Webs? Camazotes é um excelente personagem, eu gosto muito de jogar com ele. Muito forte ele. Fala, Renato. Faz tempo que eu não jogo Smite, sou meio Xinjiang, gostava de Solar 3K. Mas os personagens dos jogadores, eles começaram a me deixar decepcionado. Que? Player tóxico, personagens desbalanceados, Você resumiu o Smite. Enquanto não começa o Patch Note, a gente vai jogar um pouco aqui de Clash Royale enquanto não começa o Patch Note, beleza? Porque não faz sentido, né? A gente ficar aqui olhando para o nada. Estou baixando a Twitch. De boa, mini boy. O que você acha do Elon Chain? Eu gosto do Elon Chain, mas eu acho que a galera anda exagerando muito pegar ele toda hora. Ele vai ser nerfado, né? Esse update chegou no game, ainda vai vir, vai vir. Como vai ter outro patch notes, já não teve segunda. Eles vão apresentar hoje. Você gosta de inverno? Eu gosto de calor. E aí, João Aristou, o Sirius está fazendo live no Face. No momento agora não, mas assim que acabar esse patch notes aqui, a gente vai abrir a live lá no Face. Vou jogar no mid, fala um mago pra eu jogar. Raidin. Salve, Léo Bruno. No momento não, no momento tô fazendo só o patch note aqui pra poder, né, deixar aqui no canal pra galerinha. E assim que acabar o patch note, a gente vai lá pro Facebook, aí sim acontece a live stream normal, tudo bonitinho, todo mundo feliz e é isso, entendeu? Eu vou acompanhar esse patch note porque vai que de repente tem coisas novas nesse patch note, né? Falei, Nilson, que dia vai ser a atualização? Eu acredito que nas próximas semanas, aí na próxima ou na outra. Enfim. Falei, Maurício. Você não sabe. Esse patch note é o mesmo, tá no site deles? Provavelmente, mas pode ser que tenha alteração. Salve, louco Breeze. Tudo bem? Tudo bem? Tudo bem? Tudo bem com você? Galera, enquanto não começa o patch note, deixa eu até colocar um texto aqui na tela antes que a galera me mata. Patch notes às 18 horas. Porque senão os caras... você tá me enganando? Aqui, ó. Agora ninguém me xinga. Você gosta de anime? Depende do anime. São poucos animes que eu gosto. Mostra o seu deck aí pra ver como você joga. Ah, eu jogo de forma muito louca. Aqui não existe meta no meu deck. Não existe meta. Olha, ficamos em terceiro lugar. Se fudemos nessa guerra aqui, praticamente. Hoje a live vai ser toda no YouTube? Não, só o patch note. Você voltou pro YouTube? Não, só o patch note que eu vou fazer. Então, as lives no YouTube só são com patch note, galera. Só quando tem patch note tem live no YouTube. Por que o Aliantinha vai ser nerfado? Porque tá todo mundo usando ele. Falei, Gabriel Vieira. A Rarez, ela não gosta disso. A Rarez, ela não gosta que as pessoas usem os personagens. Tô quase upando a minha Valkyria, cara. Minha Valkyria safadinha. Vamos participar da guerra aqui. Vai ser bem legal, dinâmico e divertido. Lives nos Face são muito tops, são otimamente ótimas. São as best lives of the year. E também tem na StreamCraft, né? Às 21 horas. E aí, zero. Tô aguardando patch notes, cara. Oh shit. Isso vai dar uma merda grande. Isso vai dar uma merdinha. Não, não, não mata minha arqueira, não, minha princesa. Já era, me ferrei, já caguei todo aqui. Eu não tinha nada pra jogar contra. Qual jogo você acha que tem mais futuro, Smite ou Clash Royale? Clash Royale. Já me ferrei, cara. Ah! Ou não, pera aí, ainda tem uma solução aqui. Tem não, ó. Já era, me fudi. Me fodi todo. Me fodi todo. Vão nerfar o Elantian, vão nerfar, tem que nerfar. Ok, vamos para a próxima batalha. Hatman precisa de nerf. Não, Hatman não. Não. Não vão nerfar. Não vão nerfar o Hatman. Serious trollando. E aí, Thierry? Tô trollando não. Vixe, cara. Não é normal tá travando não, mas enfim. Não sei porque que tá travando não. Eu não sei porque que tá travando, não é normal tá travando não. Não é normal. Agora, por que está travando, eu já não sei, sinceramente. Fudeu. F5, velho. O que aconteceu com a live? What's going on? Acho que voltou ao normal agora, né? Não sei porque que tava dando isso não, sei lá. Galera, deem likes aí na live do YouTube. Cadê os likes da galera? Vocês esquecem de dar likes na live, nos vídeos. Vocês vão falir o canal desse jeito, vocês não dão like, cara. Você respondeu uma pergunta, minha internet caiu. Qual foi a sua pergunta? A Twitch está travando. Ah, deu bugs lá, não sei o que era isso. Deram bugs. Bugs e bugs. Deixa eu ver se eu ganho aqui pelo menos umas cartinhas pro nosso time, senão tá foda. A live está travando, cara. É só vir pra esse YouTube que a live começa a travar. Esse travamento imbecil, cara. Que droga, tio. Se você tem build do Deus Cap atualizada. Não, não tenho. Eu sei que a live tá travando, mas eu não sei o que é isso, tá travando ela, ô Igor. Eu não sei. O problema é que eu tô no meio de uma partida aqui, eu não posso parar pra resolver isso. E aí, Lucas? Não sei porque que tá travando. Sirius é sua net. Ah, tá, mas... É. Eu sei que é, alguma coisa é, né? Mas eu não sei o que tá acontecendo, entendeu? Tem que saber o que é que tá acontecendo. Eu não posso resolver isso agora. E aí, Fred Baeta? Ah, já era. Vou perder isso aqui que eu tô mais preocupado com o negócio que tá acontecendo na live do que com o jogo. Perdi, já era. O que tá acontecendo, velho? Já era, perdi a partida, fiquei olhando esse negócio aqui e vou fugir. ok. Voltou ao normal, aparentemente. F5 aí. Ah, fazer o quê? Acontece. Live tá normal agora? Beleza. Fafnir tem potencial na solo? Tem sim. Esse game é o Smite 2.0? Não, é porque eu tô aguardando o patch note começar. Então enquanto o patch note não começa, a gente vai, né, jogando outras coisas aqui. Nossa. Ele vai tentar jogar o gigante, tadinho. Ah, vem de balãozinho, vem. Nossa, só sai, tio. Só sai. Ele me deu um espelho. Obrigado pelo espelho. Agora meio que deu uma ferrada pra mim. Porque se ele joga um balão junto com o gigante ali, eu tô ferrado, tio. Vou tentar jogar essa P.E.K.K.A aqui, seja o que Deus quiser. Vai, P.E.K.K.A. Merdas. Tô encrencado. Tô muito lascado. Tem como eu sair dessa situação aqui não. Acabou pra mim. Mostra a imagem do atraso do Enem. Depois eu mostro. Não consegui contribuir muito bem com o baú da guerra, né? Infelizmente, os decks que eu caí aqui não funcionaram. E aí, Vini? Vou jogar uma partida normal aqui, porque essas partidas não estão rolando. Live de Smite de Clash Royale. Tá escrito na tela ali, ó. Patch Note às 18 horas. O Patch Note é às 18 horas. Agora são 17h49. Eu não posso adiantar o Patch Note porque eles ainda não começaram. Então, calma aí. Falta ainda 11 minutinhos. 11 minutinhos. Não consegue esperar 11 minutos. Eu sei que às vezes é meio difícil você esperar 11 minutos, tá ligado? Mas a gente tem que tentar esperar 11 minutinhos. Live não caiu. Agora sim, vou jogar com o meu deck. Eu quero ver se esses caras me regaçar com esse deck aqui. Esse deck aqui é infalível. Ok, amiguinho. Você acha que o Loki é um deus bom para iniciante? Só quando os outros são iniciantes? O Loki é um deus mais ou menos, né? Vamos concordar? Loki não é nem bom nem ruim, mais ou menos, sei lá. Serious está usando qual emulador para jogar Survival Heroes? BlueStacks. Será esse o último patch de Smite? Não. Agora eles vão mostrar o Pet Note, galera. Você já comprou gemas no Clash? Não, nunca comprei. Minha conta é 0 gemada. Vai ter Deus novo? Não. Acabado, amigo. Meu deck é de construção. Falei, Jefferson! Daqui a pouco vai começar. Já era! Eles não ganham do meu deck de construção. Galera, quem puder deixar um like aí na live do YouTube ajuda pra caramba, tá? Muito obrigado pelo seu like. Deixa eu ver lá se o Pet Note começou, beleza? Pera aí. Começou o Pet Note. Pera aí, rapidão. Ok. Agora tá tudo certo. Menos eu, tô aqui agora. Pet Note começou. Qual o seu deck no Clash Royale? Depois eu mostro o meu deck. Vai fazer live de Hots que dia? Eu não sei, Pablo. Salve, Gabriel Santana. Ué?
Welcome in. It's the 5.22 update
eu não
show.
sei, a galera não gosta que eu faça live de Hots, cara.
We're happy to be back on the casual set here after Thanksgiving and HRX and all of that good stuff. So we got a big patch for you here today, and you may have already read some of these notes, but this show is to go in depth. You can also see some of these skins with an in-depth look. And for that, let's go right into it. Let's look at Cyber Samurai Hachiman. This one.
Eles vão mostrar, eles vão comentar agora o patch que já foi mostrado, enfim.
Love that horse. I don't know if it's really a horse anymore, but I like
Sila é
where
amor?
it's going. That's
Como
all I
assim?
can tell you. Looking sleek for Hachiman. I don't know what hair dye that is, but
E aí,
you
Dark?
might have to get me some. Next
Quero
up,
skin do
Brutal
Naruto
Dragon
da
Fenrir, one that I saw a lot of the community very, very excited about.
A raposa de
Whenever
Nova
these
Caldas.
update notes were revealed, and we got a little bit of a preview of this beforehand. A lot of Fenrir skins. I mean, you get your cute.
Alô? Bugou?
But amped up to 11, which I'm very excited about. Super excited to see
Mixer é
what
todo
those in-game
cagado.
effects look like. Next up, we've got Dragon Priestess Nox. Lots of dragon themes here today, and that's something I'm always a fan of. Dragon Priestess Nox, another one that I saw the community super
A
excited
atualização
about.
fica disponível hoje? Eu acredito que não.
Really,
Eles estão só
really
fazendo o update show, né?
Also have Pixel Hammer Thor.
Nada que a gente não tenha visto. Inclusive tem um vídeo aqui no canal com essas skins aqui. Tem um vídeo no canal também comentando sobre os nerfs e buffs.
Maybe Pixel Hammer Thor can do the same.
Não é nada tão inédito assim.
Coins or whatever. I don't know. That's what it says on the back.
E aí, Carlos Solares?
Infernal Lord Zeus. Now here is where we really get cooking. Chat, this is where we start to get really excited because it's a Zeus skin and it's an awesome card art. And that's going to be all of my foes flying up around me and all that kind of stuff. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this skin in game. I'm super excited. I just want to get to it, but we got other stuff to do. Last but certainly not least, Titan Forge Ymir. If you haven't heard, Titan Forge.
Valeu, SRV. Obrigado pelo seu sub na Twitch, cara. Obrigado.
Doing your Smite work
E aí,
behind the scenes.
boa noite.
And
Boa
now they
noite.
can
Não, ainda não é boa noite. Boa tarde. Esse patch note aqui a gente já viu ele, na verdade. Eles só estão fazendo update show.
I love it. I love the little, I don't even know what to call those. Shoulder stalactites is what they look like to me. But, you know, that is
Vai ser interessante porque eles devem mostrar o sistema de presentes.
Exactly those are called. And I've got the perfect people here to do it with me on the casual set. Maybe not artists, but the next best thing. It's AJ and it's Pon Pon. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
É verdade sobre as trocas de skins. Na verdade eu acho que não vai poder trocar skins que você já tem, entendeu? Você não vai poder dar skins que você já tem. Mas eu acho que você vai poder comprar a skin e mandar pra alguém, entendeu?
Super excited about it. So let's get right into Project Olympus. So the first thing that I've got here on the list is a pretty simple one. You can type /block while in a private chat with another user, and it will block that user.
Right, this is there so you can get rid of those people with those pesky to type in names, which, you know.
There are a lot of those.
Yeah, we want to make sure we can facilitate all languages inside Smite, which is great. But then sometimes there's, you know, get used by people who are not really using it for the way we intend. And now you can block them still.
Removed. Unlucky. You don't need to deal with them anymore.
Yep.
The next one is something that I saw a lot of people super excited about. As I mentioned, the 5.22 notes have already been live to PTS at least. So this is something that people were very excited about. Tell me more about player gifting.
All right, so a lot of
aí, ó, tá falando sobre poder dar coisas para os amiguinhos.
Will actually be launching in 5.23.
Okay.
So
valeu, Carlos Solares, obrigado pelo novo membro aí no YouTube. Obrigado por quem assinou o canal do YouTube. É só linkar essa conta soca do Discord e participar da sala VIP. Valeu mesmo, obrigado pelo seu membro.
Done in the past,
não seu membro,
for things still in development, we're going to be moving this just one patch for now. And we're going to take some time to really look into the you know, deeper details of it in the back end. I'm also going to go through a lot of the specific rules today because as we saw, we posted this, posted a kind of short description of it just to get people excited, and people were having a very different interpretations of what this meant.
Yeah, it wasn't super clear, and so they could interpret it one way. They thought maybe they could do something that they can't, and so now we're just going to go.
Eu jogo pela Steam ainda não entendi essas skins. Sabe alguma coisa a respeito?
So, the specifics.
Okay, yeah, lay it on me.
First of all, you'll see this new gifting option. You can find it in multiple different ways. You can find it at the end of match lobby. You can actually see that there to gift your teammates or opponents, people you've never seen before. You can send them a gift that way. You can see them in the player profile.
Você vai poder dar skins pros caras que você conhece, pros caras que você
I'm going to get to that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to get to that.
Sure.
There's a limited specific selection of choices you have to send a gift.
Gotcha.
But the way you initiate a gift is either from the end of match lobby, a player's profile, the store, or your friends list.
Okay.
You'll be able to see a new gift box image there where you can click on that or cursor over to that with your controller to select that option. Then you will be able to choose a gift.
Okay.
So what we're going to launch with is a few gift options. They're going to be you know, different prices, different scaling, starting out with the emote. So you'll be able to send a random emote. So I'll send you a gift, an emote gift.
Okay.
When you open that, you'll get a random emote of the claps and waves and things in the game. And it'll work similarly for all the gifts. It'll be emote, then voice pack, then tier 2 skin, and then tier 3 skin.
Okay.
So the tier 3 skin and above one has a huge selection of skins throughout the game, including exclusives and all sorts of things like that.
Oh, wow.
They all have equal chances to be opened out of that gift, so nothing is weighted in any different directions, and you can choose essentially the tier of gift you want to send to your teammates, opponents, whatever. But those are the only 4 choices we're going to be having at launch.
Gotcha.
We definitely plan to look into this in the future, expand it, maybe make some changes. But the way gifting will work is you will be spending gems to send people one of these 4 things.
Okay.
So
and
you will
can
not
do
be
that through the friends list,
right,
or in your post-game lobby. So if someone really, you know, if your teammate gets a pentakill and gets you a lot of elo,
sure,
maybe you want to toss
E
them a
diverte.
tier 2
E
skin
quanto
or
tempo
something
dura
like
de
that.
sair? Até o final
so
do ano,
you will
cara.
not be able to access things you already own and transfer them to other players.
Okay.
Próximo mês deve
You
ser
will
o
not be
último mês
able
da
to send
Odisseia.
gifts through favor or anything else.
Eu não sei como é que vai ser exatamente, porque a gente tinha no começo do ano o Mundial e aí depois tinha a atualização da próxima temporada. Eu não sei como vai ser isso daí, mas eu acredito que em janeiro já começa a sexta temporada do Smite, então vai só até o final de dezembro.
So when you're
mesmo.
receiving a gift, you'll see you've got one.
Sure.
The player sending the gift will be able to choose a specific message. We have some pre-selected ones. You can't just type anything in there. We'll see about that. You know, we're gonna keep you guys under control.
We'll have to wait and
so
see.
you can choose a few of you can choose from that list. You'll see you've got a gift. It'll be in the new reward center. We updated that UI as well. You'll be able to see your gifts. They'll be stored there, so you can wait to open them for later. You can open them all at once. You can open them right away. Whatever. At the time you open them, you will get a piece of content out of that gift that is one you don't already own. Or if you happen to own everything in the gift, you will get a booster, an account booster of the appropriate amount.
Okay, so the account booster is if you already have, let's say I've already got every voice pack in the game and I get gifted a voice pack, I'll be receiving an account booster instead.
If you open it, yeah.
Gotcha.
Or you could wait for the next god to come out.
Oh, okay. So it determines your reward whenever you open it, not when you receive it.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
Excellent. So you can use that to your own advantages. And there are a couple certain rules that apply to this gifting. Players that are below level 10 cannot send gifts, but any player level can receive a gift.
Correct.
Okay, so take you a little bit, get on that grind with your low level accounts before you can get that going.
E Dinandinho, é só durante o patch note, minhas live streams são pelo Facebook.
No, it's just the time of the year.
Diga agora quais foram os tópicos importantes.
Pawn, don't just go using all
a gente vai ter, né, o sistema de você bloquear um cara que esteja te enchendo o saco, bloquear ele no e agora você poder mandar presentes para as pessoas no final de partida ou de repente seus amigos. Se você vai ter promoção de gemas no final de ano, só pergunta. Sei, a promoção já tá rolando.
Yeah, just have that in your chat all the time.
Exactly, I'll link it to them. Very smart. Okay, we also had some UI updates that we want to talk to you guys about. PC players can now log out on the home screen.
That's
something
awesome.
that people have been really asking for quite a bit, so I know players are excited about that. We've also updated the play screen on console for visual clarity, and as AJ mentioned, updated the reward center on all platforms for that visual clarity.
Right, so the play screen is the big one here.
Mudando as telas do console
We're going to see a very new home initial play screen. Then you'll be able to move over to the normal modes.
Encontrei cara com o TvSerious, ele estava com a sua foto. É fake, não sou eu não.
When you first go to play Smite, you will enter into the featured column up there at the top left, which has the big 4 displayed. What there is a scripted set of game modes that we've chosen for new players as you level up. So you'll see those game modes cycle into that space as you make a new account. But if you're a veteran player, what you'll see there are your most played game modes.
Oh, cool.
So if you're an assault main, you should see an assault main defaulted there, or after playing a few assault games, it will replace one of the game modes on that screen, so you don't need to navigate to the longer list of modes.
Gotcha. So if you've been playing a lot of Joust 3v3 with your 2 buddies, and then you add a 4th, so now you got Siege all the time, Siege might end up popping
after you play enough games, yeah, it'll move over there. Yeah.
All right, awesome. That's really, really cool. We also have something going on with the UI. As part of these UI updates, eventually the idea is we're going to bring together the PC and console.
No PC também vai ter algumas
so it's a
mudanças,
little
tá?
bit easier on our end.
And this is something we just wanted to get out ahead of in message. We've talked about it before,
yes.
But it never hurts to reiterate just to make sure it's clear and make sure our
Eu
goals.
sei, não joga no Xbox.
We're making a lot of changes to the UI.
Tem fake meu no Xbox.
We're doing this for a couple reasons. One, we're updating the art style. We're trying to make the game feel mythical, feel cohesive. You know, we got a lot of feedback about the blue
Aumenta o áudio da sua voz, mas já tá alto pra caramba.
That's going away bit by bit as we update it. We're also updating it for new features, so like the play screen, better, easier to see, our core game modes, gifting, adding new features, things like that.
Bloquear temporário, não.
The final reason, and most important, as you've seen, we're trying to do things on our back end to improve our overall development process. This is so that we can deliver better content in the future, better updates in the future. And right now, every UI change we make has to be done 2 times. Double the work.
Yeah, that doesn't sound optimal.
And it's even more than that, honestly, the way it works out. So what we're trying to do is eventually we're going to be getting our PC and console games UIs closer and closer together in the way they
Ele merece
look.
Gotcha.
Aparentemente sim, aparentemente ela tá precisando de nerf.
To deliver more features to the community at a faster rate with lower bug chances.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, that hits all the points that we were hoping for. And speaking of bugs, we've got a couple bug fixes here next on the list for you. On console, we fixed an issue where controller disconnect pop-ups would occur when they shouldn't, or would occur but not be dismissible, which is
it's a big fix.
yeah, that's a feels bad.
De novo falando desse patch, Serious. Agora eles estão apresentando. Vamos ver se vai ter alguma mudança, né?
Actual console home screen.
Porque uma coisa foi o patch escrito lá, né?
Thank you for the community for being specific on this one and helping us track it down and keep us posted after.
E outra coisa vai ser o patch apresentado, porque vai ter alguma mudança aí. Se tiver alguma mudança, a gente vai pegar.
All your abilities before you get into the game.
Você tem estado bem? Eu tenho estado bem nervoso. Depois daqui vai direto pro Facebook, sim. Eu odeio o Mixer. O Mixer é uma plataforma de gente bosta. Eu espero que o criador do Mixer entenda que essa plataforma dele é uma grande merda.
And we got Bakasura's diet all worked out.
I do. This is a fun bug. Yeah, unfortunately. But
meu Smite não tá baixando pelo site, só jogo pela Steam, porque o Smite Highlights não parece da erro, não sei porquê. Caralho, Mixer!
Narrow application if you really wanted to do that, but
mas o deixou melhor, não? O Atos que está tomando bom. Mano, não dá pra assistir no Mixer em 1080, começa a travar.
But you can still Aegis while up in Fenrir.
Sure, yes. Just some of those different.
Caralho, o Mixer é a pior plataforma do mundo, velho.
Just cannot actually fire the bite while Aegis.
Gotcha.
Que dia vai lançar o novo Deus? Ainda não foi apresentado, então a gente não sabe. Está tendo drops? Não. A atualização mudou de dia agora? Não sei o que eles arrumaram. Eles fizeram umas coisas loucas lá. E aí o patch note foi mostrado na segunda no site e agora na sexta tá tendo atualização. Não sei. Por causa do dia da ação de graças lá. Vai ter live jogando Smite hoje, se tiver, vai ser em qual plataforma? No Facebook. Vou passar o link pra vocês no Facebook pra vocês seguirem lá. Fica tranquilo.
But items is pretty short, but it's pretty sweet at the same time for a lot of the community. Soul Reaver, the only item getting a touch this time around. We decreased the maximum health percentage this item could do from 8% down to 7%. We saw a lot of Soul Reaver.
Devorador de almas sendo nerfado. O dano ali adicional de 8% para 7%, ok? Vou passar para vocês o link do Facebook já, para quem não sabe, né? Porque as live streams rolam lá. As live streams não são aqui no YouTube, só é aqui quando tem patch note, nem na Twitch, tá? Mas eu tô mandando para vocês o link aí, já segue lá minha fanpage, assim que terminar aqui a gente abre lá. Beleza?
Just as Chin Size has been a powerful item for hunters for forever, basically, with some tweaks in there where it was better and then it was worse, you know, this is the mage equivalent of Soul Reaver, of Chin Size, so it needs to be good against those tanks in order to prevent the tank snowball that we've seen in the past in a lot of ways.
Yeah, one of our key successes from Season 5 was the Titan's Bane, Obsidian Shard, Soul Reaver, and Kin's changes that give us the scaling factor.
Right.
That gives us easy knobs to adjust in the case of tank meta appearing in too heavy amounts. What we did see though was a lot of still supports struggling.
Já falaram sobre a parada de presente já sim.
Huge meta around worlds develop out of Fenrir support and the idea of just killing the enemy support as quickly as possible in an early team fight and then playing that 4v5. So we wanted to focus on that issue really specifically first from worlds, but this item was still doing a lot of discussion about it seems to be doing a lot of damage at all scenarios, so it's likely that a power buff or another change could happen. But we're still moving towards 6-1. There's a lot of things going on right now, so we're looking at the very specific issue we saw it applied at first.
Perfect. Okay, so more to come potentially on Soul Reaver. We'll get your feedback.
Qual programa você usa para gravar o jogo? O meu eu uso o OBS Studio, mas não pega a tela cheia, trava o jogo. Tenho 5.80 de upload. Então, para gravar não necessariamente precisa de upload, né? Você grava com o seu PC normalmente. Você abre o primeiro cast para gravar. Agora, para fazer live 5.80 é ótimo. Você pode mandar 4 ali que já dá pra fazer uma live legal. Que Deus que seja assassino ou mago está muito forte nesse patch.
That gave him a lot of ability to control the map, run the enemy jungle.
O pessoal fala que a pele tá forte, eu não sei. Não faço muita noção. Eu acho que não tem nenhum mago assim que esteja muito forte. Como você viu, se você comprar um pacote que vende no beta, no Smite Nintendo, você ganha umas skins. E nela tem uma Scylla. Você acha que ela vai vir no Smite PC? Talvez não. Talvez seja skin exclusiva.
That's a lot.
It's a huge amount.
It's like 2,000 to 3,000 gold worth of stats, which is great.
A Era tá bem forte, ó. O Yoda falou que a
So
Era
this
tá bem
god's an
forte.
interesting scenario because people have memories of the god being essentially
Bakasura sendo nerfado.
not playable or not meta for a long period of time. In reality, though, he was performing very well, just very low popularity.
Sure.
We made a lot of good fixes. We made a lot of good changes. We kept the god at around. Actually, you know, he didn't get that much better. He was already surprisingly good. So then he became crazy popular, you know. And so we have to be careful with
Loki não está tão forte assim. Loki nem é
unfavored
tão
in the meta
forte
for a
assim.
while. Nerfing them too quickly is unfair. We need to make sure people have time to react and learn, as Pawn mentioned. So Bakasura, though, is clear. You can see it in Worlds performance. You can see it on Smite GG and look at his popularity, his pick and ban rate and win rate on just ranked play. It is up there.
Yes.
This god, I know people because of their memories.
Vontade de comprar casaco desses Smite.
Bakasura is carrying your
Quem é esse Nightbot? É um bot.
He is.
100% of the time.
So,
É um
and
bot
we
que fica
like this
escrevendo coisas
change. It's a
aí.
nice measured change that should not bring him back to his recent perception, but will make him a little bit easier to play against.
Plus, I mean, as Pon mentioned, that was mid-season that these changes.
Yes.
So
It's been a while.
It's been half a year almost where he's had this very strong performance. So a little bit of a tone down. I do expect to see Bakasura still in a lot of my ranked games. Next up, another assassin, but this time it's a buff and one that I saw a lot of the community get excited about.
Bastet sendo bufada, a habilidade 2 dela diminuindo o intervalo de 15 para 13 segundos. É um buff interessante. Eles estão mostrando as coisas saindo na segunda, sim. Tô aguardando para ver se vai ter alguma novidade, né? Porque para mim não faz sentido nenhum eles mostrarem segunda e aí hoje mostrarem novamente. A esperança é que eles mostrem alguma coisa sobre o Rei Arthur, entendeu?
Clear more effectively, she can keep up with other junglers when it gets to late game team fights. She has the opportunity to get a whole extra razor whip in there, especially with cooldown reduction. And that's a big deal for someone who relies so much on their abilities to get their damage out.
Now, Bastet, although hadn't been favored recently, and we really wanted to make sure she got a little buff, we were trying to be careful here because we've even seen Bastet get pulled out at lands and stuff like that, very surprisingly, and have a lot of success. She has her like leap ability and leap back. That's a very unique ability. It's very powerful.
Yes, very.
Cats, if you are
Me indica um herói pra ser main, pega aquilo que você se dá bem, cara.
Yeah, you just get triangled in by them.
Não tem, tipo, falar pra você ser main como personagem, vai que de repente não é seu estilo. Pega o que você se dá bem, que você gosta. Enfim.
I can hear Scream right now, the jungler for United, saying, really? Now?
Imagina eu falar pra você, olha, joga de Tote, né?
I bet Bastet was not far down his list.
Mas, mano, que merda é essa?
Erlong Shen, another god that has been played a lot in the jungle, though not technically an assassin, is getting another nerf. Spot weakness, the 1, decrease the scaling from per basic
Que isso,
attack.
velho, tá travando. Gente, tem plataforma pior do que o Mixer pra fazer live stream? Eu acho que não tem, cara. O Mixer é a pior plataforma de live stream do mundo, velho. Não existe. Essa bosta travou de novo. Enfia esse Mixer na bunda, cara.
Increasing the turtle move speed, bonus move speed from 100% down to 75%. So this is hitting not only
Agora a tela fica preta.
Yes, so I'm sure if you've been playing
increasing the turtle move speed, bonus move speed from 100% down to 75%. So this is hitting not only his damage but its control as well.
Yes, so I'm sure if you're
Eu quero ver alguma coisa, velho.
His performance is quite good.
Yeah, he's good.
He does a lot of work. And so the thing was Yes, so I'm sure if you've been playing
Porra, que chato.
his performance is quite good.
Yeah, he's good.
He does a lot of work. And so the thing was he made spot weakness this really potent increased damage steroid. So he wanted to
Mas engraçado que, tipo, pra todo mundo tá ruim a live, tá? Tipo, não é só pra mim, não. A live deles é uma maravilha. E essa plataforma Mixer é a melhor plataforma existente já. Já fez live na Cube? Muito tempo atrás. Ó, pra eles também caiu, ó. Hipstream. The fuck, velho.
And next on the list, another pick that we saw plenty of at the World Championships.
Aparentemente voltou.
Reduce the range bonus.
Quando sai esse patch? Daqui na próxima semana, se é a próxima outra.
And reduce the range bonus damage from 20 to 60 down to 16 to 60. So what does this mean for Freya players?
It really means that we're hitting two kind of places that Freya is currently excelling at. We saw both the early pressure that Freya could provide was really, really high.
Yep.
Eu não suporto o mixer. Eu vou comer mais um chocolate. Ah, vou acabar com esse chocolate, mano. Acabou. Acabou mesmo.
Really let her stack
No.
on top of the burst number 1. So we're just reducing both the early game trade potential, which will also slow down her late game kind of naturally if she's not as strong in the early game, and then take away some of that scaling in the late game when she's building a lot of magical power. So you have more opportunity, more time to react against her.
Gotcha. So now she will not only.
Parabéns, Vaguinho. Parabéns, Vaguinho. Finalmente formado. Vamos comemorar.
Yep.
Excellent.
And I think the other big thing to note here is that Freya, because of the changes we've made to her in the past, these are numbers that we can tweak. These are numbers we can adjust, where before there's a lot of
for a large hit up front, but then she can follow that up with many more hits.
Right.
Likely, if you're dying to Freya,
Yeah. Rara, tá de parabéns, viu? Empresa ridícula. É a pior plataforma de stream do mundo. Ainda tem gente que me pergunta assim: por que você não vai fazer live stream no Mixer? Por que você não faz live stream no Mixer? Tá todo mundo fazendo live stream no Mixer. O Mixer é uma ótima plataforma. Porra, mano, plataforma zoada, velho. Ninguém consegue fazer live nessa bosta. Todas as lives que acontecem nessa porcaria dessa plataforma são ruins, cara. Por que você não faz live stream no Mixer?
Welcome back, everybody. Again,
Voltaram.
apologies for that, but we're back, and we were talking about Freya. If you missed it, we can go over that again very quickly. We are touching Aurora Blade, her 2. We're reducing the ranged bonus damage from 20% down to 15%, magical power scaling, and reducing the range bonus damage from 20 to 60 down to 16 to 60. So a little bit more on the early game. And as you were saying, Pon, we want to hit her early pressure, but also make it so that it takes a couple extra shots in the later game.
Yeah, so that's the big thing is her. When she was at World, she was successful in both the early game and the late game, where you really should be focused on one or the other, and her sustained damage lends her more to the late game stages. So we're toning on the early game so she isn't so oppressive to fight against, and then we're also taking some of the scaling away in the late game so that when you do get to that stage, you're not quite as potent as you were before. And that's just one of the advantages we have of the Freya. Well, your 5 seconds
live stream lá vai ser muito boa, vai pro Mixer.
Right. Much more,
vai pro Mixer.
You have a lot more flexibility, a lot more.
Plataforma zoada, eu só desejo que ela acabe
Let's
logo.
Move on to another guy that we saw plenty of at Worlds, Mercury getting a nerf. Made you look, well, I don't even know if I'd classify.
Já falei sobre isso daqui, né? Sobre as nerfs e buffs. O Mercúrio vai ter uma mudança na 1. A 1 dele não vai considerar um ataque básico, não vai ser considerado um ataque básico, e sim uma habilidade, porém ela ainda vai continuar aplicando crítico, tá? E aí, Artemis, boa noite.
Golden Blade will no longer get that proc off of Made You Look, but it can still critical strike. So Rage, Deathbringer, all that good stuff is still going to work. It is now, this ability is now considered an ability for the purposes of item effects only. So Crusher and Brawler's Beat Stick will now be applied, those passives, whenever you hit someone with that 1.
Right.
Yep, and with that, we also decreased the cooldown back to 8 seconds.
Yes,
parecendo a Janete do Zorra Total. Teve um cara que falou assim que parece a Embucete do Rose in the House.
We are bringing it back to 8 seconds. So what led us to make this specific change for Mercury?
So I think the thing is, Golden Blade is this really unique item that we want to bring back, and Mercury has a very tight history with Golden Blade. And we like this item to really help those auto attackers like Arachne and Boxer to have that extra level of clear. But when Mercury exists with that 1 to proc it, it breaks the item. And so we either need to make Mercury useless without Golden Blade, or you need to make Golden Blade useless so Mercury can use it in his builds, right? And that's just a situation we don't want that item to be in. And so
tinha que melhorar a Vamana, usava muito ele quando a ult tancava tudo. Hoje em dia não tanca nem monstro da selva. Pois é.
We're keeping that aspect and we're letting you proc new items.
Pois é, o Vamana tá bem prejudicadinho.
Kind of break cases so that we can have Golden Blade as an item balance for these auto attack clear assassins that might need a little help extra with their clear.
So Crusher, Heartseeker is another one that I've seen a lot of people get excited about for the 1. And even though these item effects are very strong, I don't think that I've seen some people say, oh, well, with Crusher and Heartseeker, it might do just as much damage, but with the way Golden Blade works with Mercury 1, it was literally just multiplying inside that little area. So it will still be strong, yes, but it won't reach Golden Blade.
But it also depends on the targets, right? So one of the key
Essa atualização hoje não.
The old interaction was just how quickly he could clear jungle and clear
diminuíram o cooldown dela de 10 para 8 segundos. Eu acho que foi uma alteração legal do
Mercúrio. So he was able to just one-shot waves, so removing a lot of the counterplay.
Mercúrio não precisava de arco dourado. O arco dourado porque dava crítico, né? Mas a espada dourada não é um item que precisava.
So we're giving him that back as we expect the Golden
E Lucas Pereira. E aí você transforma a habilidade em habilidade mesmo, né? Porque ela era considerada ataque básico. E aí você tem algumas opções bem interessantes.
It's hard to just like jam Heartseeker in there, but you know, people will try, and we'll see how it goes.
And I'm excited to see how it goes. Again, we will be keeping an eye on Mercury, without a doubt. Another highly contested assassin is Pele, also getting a nerf in 5.22. Everlasting Flame, her passive, where you're increasing
passiva de 20 para 30 segundos. Eu já falei sobre isso, tá? Tem um vídeo no canal sobre isso. Se tu ganhar uma skin que tu tenha já através dos presentes do seu amigo, ela vira um dia de amplificador. Como assim?
So she was a highly contested world. Her performance overall in casual ranking.
Os caras me deram uma skin tier 5.
I think really what we saw the strength.
Tô zoando que não tem como, né?
If you got in there and you had a fight, you could often make it so swingy in your favor that you ended up snowballing the rest of the fight. That is what Everlasting Flame is there to do. It's meant to be that last-ditch effort in the assassin to really survive. And
como estão os nerfs? Uma bosta.
The amount it was doing that was just a bit too much. The swing was too high. We're toning that down, so it can still happen, but it won't be as often as reliable.
Also, the ability to get out of the fight at low HP, throw your 1 on a minion camp, you know, in the jungle and full heal almost. That'll be a little bit less.
A little bit less, yeah. I still love that play. I mean, we saw Aurora pull that out in the finals with his Fenrir. He went and just was like resetting a jungle camp and using his 2 over and over again during his Phoenix Siege. That was awesome. So, props to that type of play, but Pele just swinging it back a little too hard, so toning that down.
Awesome. Okay, next up, Sylvanas. He's getting a buff. Increased his base movement
Silvano foi bufado em velocidade de movimento. O Ymir também vai ser. E esses foram os nerfs e buffs.
In depth with how the stats work. This may not seem like a lot, but this will really help him out.
Yes. Yeah, so movement speed just as a stat, it doesn't seem impressive to just increase by 5, but we're talking about your ability to rotate around the map, your ability to get to locations, and you're going to be constantly moving forward.
Pode fazer um teste para mim se o escudo único, por diminuir o poder dos magos, também diminui a cura deles por habilidades. Com certeza, porque a cura é baseada no poder deles, né?
So any movement speed increase that you get now,
até agora alguma diferença no patch? Nenhuma.
Like a Heavenly, you're going to be moving a lot faster, and so that is going to really help Sylvanas, who doesn't really have much rotational power, get around the map and make plays, like get into the right position to get a pluck off.
And that's the real key with this change. A lot of Guardians have movement abilities. A lot of them do. Sylvanas does not. So it felt strange that he was slow. So we wanted to bump him up just a bit.
Fair enough. We also have another Guardian that is getting bumped up just a bit. Ymir also getting a 5 base movement speed increase, but he was already at 365. We're moving him up to 370. Also, with Shards of Ice, his ultimate, we're increasing that slow from 30% to 40%. So he's moving faster, and now if he's ulting...
O ultimate dele foi bufada também, a lentidão de 30 para 40%.
Letting him get in range to put up clutch walls, getting range to freeze, getting range to AoE disrupt with his ultimate, and that's also the reason that Shards of Ice is getting an increased slow. That's going to really increase
Ela foi nerfada?
fight to really pressure people to have,
Se eu não me engano, não.
or have to get away or allow teammates to fall more effectively.
Qual o melhor lugar pra se jogar de Cronos? Eu acho que o melhor lugar pra se jogar de Cronos é na selva, mas
I thought you were
enfim.
done. I'm sorry.
I'm good.
We're usually so good at that.
Mid solo também funciona muito bem.
Ymir will now be the fastest guardian in the game.
Oh, baby.
So, fastest god alive, Mercury, watch out.
That's right. He's
I
coming
can't
for
wait
you.
to see some jungle Ymir versus jungle Mercury.
The clear,
Oh,
hey,
man.
Ymir's clear speed is
He
actually
is
pretty
good.
nuts.
He is fun. I was playing some of that the other day. So we like that Ymir can flex, and this is going to help that a lot when he gets played a little bit more aggressively.
Gotcha. Excited to see that. That does it for our God balance. We have our little graphic here if you missed it. The 5.22 update. Nerfs to a lot of the things you saw do very well at the Smite World Championships, gods and item included, and then buffs to some lesser seen characters, Bastet, Sylvanas, and Ymir. As you mentioned, AJ, the lead up to 6.1 means that we've got a lot of stuff in our sights,
Tinham
but
que
don't want
bufar a
to
minha
commit to
Hela.
that just yet.
Right, we're going to look at some very targeted
Será?
issues in the game. That's going to be a big part of our
Só
philosophy going forward
imaginação.
anyway, and has been for a lot of this year. So we saw these characters perform really well at Worlds. We confirmed their stats performing at ranked and normal play as well. So they were all very fine candidates for nerf, just to make sure that all of our players are having a good time up until we launch the new season, which we want to make sure happens.
A lot of stuff in the new season. Should be very excited about that. In fact, we've got a short video to preview some things that you can see in Season 6.
The Smite team is excited to give you a glimpse of all of the
Thank you,
gods
guys.
for Season 6. First, Arthurian legend comes alive in Smite.
Ok, mas aí trava na hora que tá mostrando.
With the great king
Porra.
Arthur and the master wizard Merlin arriving as the 99th and 100th gods. The next god, Jormungand, the world dragon, will signify the end of Ragnarok. For Smite's birthday, we will finally create the highly requested fan favorites, Horus and Set. Then, we'll introduce a new pantheon, featuring a god that will rise well above the heights of Mount Olympus. We will also dive down into the darkest depths of the underworld. The season will culminate with a being so powerful that its arrival will threaten the existence of all gods. Join us for all this and more in Smite Season 6. The battleground of the gods awaits.
Ok.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Ok, fizeram
Change
isso
out
só
my
pra
friends on
poder
the casual
acomodar
set
a
now
galera ali pra mostrar
by
as
Tina,
skins
Chris,
e
and a
tudo mais.
newcomer to the update show, Tim. Tim, welcome first of all, and tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I am a character rigger on Smite. I basically help build our internal controls for our animators to work their magic.
A big part of it that doesn't always get talked about. So excited to have you. Excited to have you on. A clutch performer. That's part of our team. Also, reportedly, a beast frisbee player. That remains to be seen. All right, let's get right into it, guys. The skin section, we got a lot of them to do, and they look
Galera,
really, really
rapidinho, eu
awesome.
vou
We're
só
starting
ali
with
beber
Cyber
uma
Samurai
água.
Hachiman,
Fiquem aí com
one that I am
as
super
skins.
stoked about. Hachiman, he's got his usual, samurai outfit, but this one he's upgraded to the samurai, to the cyber samurai style. Tina, where did he get all these cyber things? I love asking you the lore behind these skins.
From a planet he ravaged.
Oh man,
And he found
That was a really good answer.
yeah, that was solid.
Thanks.
I'm I'm excited about it. This horse. Is it still technically a horse, or is that a mech?
It's a horse mech.
Okay,
It's a mecha horse.
mecha horse.
So both.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it will come to him whenever he tries to use that ultimate.
Yeah, dude, he just whistles and that shit comes right running, you know?
I do know.
That is
yes. I does he whistle on this? I guess we'll find out pretty soon if he whistles or not on this skin. We do have a in-game preview for you guys coming just in just a second, so appreciate your patience on that. Tell me about this little symbol that we see on the flag there and on the side of his mecha horse. I'm really digging that. Anyone got any info for me?
The symbol on the side?
Yeah.
Not so much.
No?
On this guy. Yeah.
It's three circles inside a bigger circle. A little teardrop.
Fishman would know. I think it's some like Japanese symbolism. I don't know if it's like
That's fine by me. I'm just telling you I think it looks cool.
oh,
I'm excited about
I
it.
don't know if it's like Shinto
Oh,
or
he's got-
anything like that.
He's got one
but-
on his back as well. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's ready to go
I think
with
this
it.
guy came together pretty well.
Yeah, this
It
looks awesome.
fits in well with our past cyber skins, you know.
Dude.
Definitely. This
This skin is such a troll
Voltei.
because of the ponytail. I always think it's a.
O que eu perdi?
Like I'll be
Nada,
like running
né?
around, I'm like, oh,
Salve
it's
a lã.
Artemis. Like, oh, wait.
Vai ter live no
no,
Face
no,
hoje,
it's
vai.
a
Só acabar esse patch note aqui, a gente vai pro Face, beleza? Aí eu passo o link do Face pra todo mundo que não tiver o link do Face e a gente se vê lá no Face.
Yeah, so usually whenever we have new pieces of mesh on our characters, we have to come in and
Só responder as
build new
mensagens aqui.
secondaries on top of what's existing. So as a rigger, we'll go in, we'll kind of see the mesh, see what's going on with it, and kind of evaluate.
Gostaria de ver um patch note sem a Tina. Eu gostaria de ver um Smite sem a Tina, entendeu? Mas eu acho que é meio complicado isso.
There's the heavenly banner pulsating out. A little bit different. I like that, you know, a lot of the Hachiman effects are usually very red, but this one is a little bit more white, but not pure white. I mean, it's that cyberness
His
to
effects?
it. Yeah,
His effects are still red.
I mean, there's red in there, but it's not over like the one on Eagle Eye that has the little white symbols and that kind
Eu
of
acredito
stuff.
que minha mãe te viu de longe e disse parece o Lucas Lira só por causa da barba. Mas quem é Lucas Lira?
There it is. It still sounds. He's still got the horse sound. So
A barba tá bonita, muito obrigado.
We also
Quem é
faced a
Lucas
low-key
Lira?
bug on this guy where if you used your stim and you fired one shot and then didn't fire for a few seconds, all of those little orbs would just multiply when you got 6 of them around you, which was pretty confusing for the enemy player. So yeah, we got that.
YouTuber.
Now it's
YouTuber.
all in order. Perfect. To get 2 birds.
Até agora nenhuma diferença do patch, galera. Mesma coisa que foi apresentado lá, tá sendo apresentado aqui.
Voiced by Brad Venable. Excited about that. Let's take a listen to Brad on this voice pack.
O que é lamentável. Pera aí, já volto.
Your skill will suffice. Exhilarating. I am perfection. Time for you to be decommissioned. 404, joke not found. I hate the sand on Clash. It really grinds my gears.
He's being used in multiple different game modes. I like it. You could play this in Clash and get that extra bit of in-game feeling. He feels very patronizing, and I like it. He doesn't like me, and I like that about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like an extra little bit of relationship that I have.
We're learning more about you.
My Hachiman. I'm not saying that's in general. I mean, Chris, I prefer if he likes me, but if you were going to patronize me on the show, I would probably deal with it. Next up, it's a Brutal Dragon Fenrir. This one I know a lot of people in the community very, very excited about. Talking about different character models, basically, Tim. This one, very different from what we usually see for Fen.
This one was a bigger challenge for us than I think we initially expected. It's weird to think like we had this plan of how can we make a dog character into a dragon.
Sure.
Right? So that definitely threw some curveballs at us, but we got it worked out.
I like that. I mean, when you think dragon, I don't think I necessarily think giant horns and no wings on the back, but it definitely still gets that feeling across even without those.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting twist.
Wingless dragon humanoids.
Well, I just don't know them personally, is what I mean, Tina. I mean, maybe you hang out with them, but I don't get invited to those parties, so I just don't. I'm not as familiar.
Are you calling me a furry?
I don't know how you could have ever gotten that from what I was saying to you.
I think it's fine. I mean, I'm not, but I think. There's nothing bad
we're
about
obviously
being a
accepting,
furry.
but that is not what I was saying to you. No. Anyways, moving on as fast as humanly possible. Brutal Dragon Fenrir, one that we are excited about, and so that I can move on from whatever Tina just said to me. The red and blue animations here, Chris. So it's not just one uniform color across the board. We kind of got both worked in there.
Yeah, I think the effects team did a really nice job, like updating some of the colors to give it a more draconic feel.
Yeah, he's got both.
But he's got blue arms.
The glowing blue arms. That's really, really awesome. And he's got the full-blown dragon tail there as well, not just the horns that you have to look at differently than the normal Fenrir skins.
I want to mention that he's not going to howl. Right now he's howling for his tail, but he's not going to be doing that when it goes live. He's actually going to growl because it's weird for a dragon to howl.
Yeah, he's a little bit more growly, so still some work in progress stuff here on this one. There's a giant dragon right there for you. This one looking really awesome. And I think that the did you have to worry about how the animations looked for the dragon body versus the dog body here?
Yeah, there's always cleanup when different models come in with different proportions and things. So the animation team did a nice job. We try to work with them to find penetration in the game through different animations. But yeah, it turned out pretty well.
Looking great. John Taylor, the voice for this skin. Let's take a listen.
Attack middle lane. Defend the Titan. You have honor. Excellent.
Uau! Voltei.
Face me. Stare into the eyes of your defeat. I know a tenderfoot when I see one. I've lost my tail back in the siege of Svalgard, and once again during the battle for Stavanger. Remember, it's okay to lose a limb as long as it grows back.
War-torn. Some big battles in his past.
He is. He's a battle dragon.
But at the same time, he seems a little bit like... He's the scary guy that you would come across, you're like, oh, man...
E aí, galera, como é que foi? Tive que resolver uns problemas ali, estou de volta. Acabou o Pet Note?
If you're nice to him and
A Tina revelou que ela vai largar o Smite pro nosso delírio? Não, né? Continua a mesma bosta.
Next up, we've got Shadow Punch Robin, one that I'm
Vamos
super
ver a skin
stoked
do
about.
Havana.
This is just the card art. First of all, this man looks like he does some
Que
serious
barba
work in
gostosa,
that
que
little
isso?
Coliseum arena sort of feel. And
Tem como
you can
comer
play
uma
on
barba?
the new arena map and get that same sort of feeling. A little bit of a plug there. This one.
Ei, Mencila, me adicione no WhatsApp pra nós compartilhar ideias. Que isso, cara? Tá rolando um namoro virtual aqui na minha live, cara. Porra é essa, cara?
Yeah.
So talk to me about this dragon theme.
Os
Because
caras
we've
tão
got
namorando
the
aqui.
dragon Fenrir, the dragon Robin, the dragon
caras tão
Nox.
marcando
Are we just
encontro
about,
aqui,
are we just
galera.
the dragon's out right now?
I guess so.
Olha
I
isso
mean,
daqui, olha isso
we're
daqui.
seeing more and more characters come in with wings.
Que é isso,
and
cara?
Expects to have wings and,
Right.
and, you know, things like that. It's just getting
Tá
very
acontecendo?
dragon crazy around here.
Who doesn't love dragons? I mean, come on. Lance is obviously the coolest Elite Four
Tá
member.
acontecendo na minha live?
Honest about that one, like it's easy. This is so cool. This is exactly what I wanted because Green Hand's Robin is already great, but this is like Green Hand Robin up to 10, and that shield effect is really awesome around him for his passive
Yeah.
there. That looks great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the effects that they've come out with. Honestly, a lot of skins recently, but these next few that we have
E
coming
aí,
up
Igor
are
Henrique,
really nice.
beleza?
Ooh.
What?
So instead of the Shadow Fist,
A galera tá marcando encontro, galera.
The root coming from your dragon friends. He's tossing out dragons. Is that the
Is it
gameplay?
dragons? I thought it was hands.
Estamos conversando sobre a melhor deusa do
Dragon
game.
hands, right? So it's kind of like
Uhum,
kinda got both. It is. So it's
They-
still the Shadow Fists, but it's
Sei.
dragon hands
Começa assim, né?
Slapping you.
that are doing it.
Começa
That is
assim.
awesome. I love that.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Holy
There it
That's
is.
the best
Cool.
part. Best part.
Daqui a
That
pouco
is
fica
so
assim,
sick.
nossa, você
This is what's telling
Você
you
tem
you got your damage
músculos
mitigations
tão
and you're a certified
tonificados.
badass anytime you use this.
Nossa,
Mystic
eu
Rush.
adorei esse seu
I
corte
just
de
I love that change.
cabelo.
The change looks so good.
Yeah.
Man, that is
fantastic.
That is awesome. Well, I see here on my notes that he is the rival to the recent Mercury skin that was just
Eles
released.
acham que me
So
enganam.
those two battle it out, and Mercury's got to
Shonen
deal with
Tô
Smart.
solteiro também,
Shadow
quem
Robin.
quiser.
Yeah,
Galera, vamos
so
fazer o
this is
seguinte.
in that sort of
Vamos fazer
anime
uma live
style.
só pra
We're building a whole
encontros.
unit. We've got
Cada
so many
pessoa
different
vai ter que doar
diversity.
R$5 pra participar do encontro.
What, what can't you do?
Tem que lucrar com aquela galera aí, velho.
We also
Novo estilo de
have
live.
VXG for this one. Can we, can we
Oh
take a look
yeah, I
at that?
forgot about
Eu
that.
vou unir os
This
corações.
is really cool.
No way.
Yeah,
Wait, that's how he
dude.
moves? He just
Yeah,
flips
yeah.
up?
It's
Yeah.
8-way directional, so you can go everywhere with it. And then when he stops moving, he just
Quando
kind
a
of
luz
floats
dos
there and
olhos
kind of
meus,
powers
a
up a
luz
little
dos
bit.
olhos
That
teus resolvem
is
se
awesome.
encontrar.
I love it. These
Acho que o senhor está com
omnidirectional
ciúme.
VXG,
Obviamente estou com
I
ciúme.
feel like
Ninguém
they're-
arruma namorado ou
I
namorada
love
no meu
using them.
chat,
Are they
entendeu?
are they a lot of
Sem a
work to
minha
do in comparison
autorização.
to the other
Que
usual
absurdo.
VXGs?
It depends on the type, but in general, yeah,
Isso
they're a
daqui
lot
não
more
é
because you're dealing with 8 directions versus
Tinder,
just a
não.
standing still.
Well, it looks absolutely
Vocês
amazing.
estão achando o quê?
Yeah,
De novo esse
animation
patch
did a
por
good
quê?
job.
Não sei, a Rarest tem problemas
Super
mentais.
awesome. Let's take a listen to the voice pack.
O nome desse
that's
quadro
voiced
poderia ser
by
Em Nome do
Reagan
Amor.
Defend middle lane.
Não, o nome desse quadro vai ser Em Busca do Meu Duo.
Hoorah! You're strong.
Web namoro não funciona.
My strength can't be beat. A skilled warrior
Ai,
can sense
ai,
the
ai,
strength
ai.
of an enemy's ki. And I am
Em
not.
Busca do Meu Duo.
I'm quite a hit at parties. Make a punch with
Meu duo perfeito. E aí, Pablito, beleza? Oi, lindos e lindas e Serious. Ué, como assim? Eu não sou nem lindo nem linda. Eu sou só eu, Serious.
This skin absolutely amazing.
Pisa mais.
Can't wait to play it. Another dragon themed skin for
Pisa
you. Dragon
mais.
Priestess Nox next
Pisa.
up on the list.
Another good one.
The first bullet point I see here. Tina's favorite skin of the patch.
Yeah, it
Tina,
is.
why is
Vamos
this-
web namorar. Vamos? Você vai me dar gema?
You have to articulate.
No,
Not
Aceito
that.
gemas.
I really like that she has
Ah, se você for parar pra pensar, o web namoro é a melhor coisa que existe. Porque você não precisa de fato ficar com a pessoa, então não importa quem seja, entendeu?
She has an eye for once.
Só me dá
Yeah,
gemas e
connection, man. That's true. I didn't even
presentes.
think about that. Normally
Like
Nox.
Sia, almost.
Pode mandar na minha
Her
conta aí,
combo's
ó,
gonna be
fica à
so much easier to hit on this
vontade.
skin
yeah, but
because
I
she can see.
also love that she has horns and that her breastplate
Tô
is,
aceitando, tem
very
100 espaços para
shiny
web
and-
namoros.
and her skirt
Tenho
is
100
very
espaços.
long,
Eu vou web namorar 100 pessoas.
sparkly.
Se cada uma me der 300 gemas, eu vou ter quantas gemas?
Yeah.
300 mil
Dangerous
gemas?
fast, yeah.
That's as good as that could have ever
30 mil
gotten for
gemas.
us. It also
E aí,
looking
Biel?
great and can see where she's throwing all of these
Sumiu
abilities.
quanto tempo?
Has that? I mean, normally Nox's
Smite
effects
ajuda a
are
achar
very
sua cara metade.
dark and shadowy, but these
É,
are very
Artemis,
bright
você que
on
diga,
the
né?
skin. It's a bit of a difference, but certainly looks really good with that combination of the colors.
Te dou um kit malha mística e
Yeah,
muito
the
amor,
color
mas eu
scheme
já
of this
tenho
skin
malha
really came
mística.
together.
Eu
It
quero
looks really
gema.
good as a whole.
Nice and gold there on the 2 and the 1. Oh, she becomes a little like ball of light. And look at that. That is.
Sim, Biel. Galera, lembrando que os meus live
God
streams são no
could be a gold
Facebook,
skin
tá?
right
Hoje
away.
que tá rolando patch note, tá rolando patch note aqui. Mas assim que acabar esse patch note aqui, a gente vai lá pra live stream no Facebook e eu conto com a presença de todo mundo, tá? Vou mandar pra vocês o link aí do nosso Facebookzinhos pra vocês seguirem lá minha fanpage, acompanhar minha live stream lá, porque tá bem legal pelo
That's less
Facebook.
like light, it feels like, and more just outright fire.
Muito obrigado, Andrógena.
Yeah, it's like sunfire.
Sunfire is particularly.
É, cria um dragãozinho. O problema é que ela é prêmio de Odisseia, né? Se você não
we
for
also
fazer
have
Odisseia...
VXG on this one. Let's take a look.
Eita, o Wagner citando nomes, cara.
Oh, yeah.
Olha o Wagner citando
You can't
nomes
be a
aí,
dragon priest, you can't
Ó,
just
Imperatriz, eu tô
summon a
ficando
dragon
louco.
whenever you
Artemis.
want, right? Like,
Yeah.
you need to have that.
Se eu fosse
little
mulher, eu
guy.
te pegava,
what-
Sirius.
do you
Não,
have
mas
any-
aqui, você
She's
pode
also a
me
queen.
web namorar à distância,
She's a
me
queen
dar
and a
presentes, não
dragon
tem
priestess.
problema.
That's a lot.
The
Isso
dragon
daí
is
é...
called Bub.
2018, a gente já tá assim.
Bub.
Manda gemas.
Bub looks nice.
Thanks.
Manda gemas, vai.
Is Bub gonna
Quero
get
gemas.
bigger and attack later on in life?
Nah.
This is full size Bub.
Yep.
Well, a teacup dragon.
Teacup
Manda
dragon.
gemas e dinheiro.
Yes,
I
teacup
love
dogs.
little
Why
guy.
not teacup dragons, dude?
Why not?
Ah, é
love
tão
it.
bom
Summon
web
Bub
namorar.
anytime, any place on the battleground of the
Ai,
gods.
que bom
Let's
que
take a listen to
isso
this
é Deus que
voice pack. It's voiced by Victoria Vidi.
Se eu fosse maior de idade, eu pegava, que medo. E aí, Vitor Silva, o que perdi? Nada, cara. Esse patch note aqui é o mesmo que já foi mostrado há um tempo atrás.
Most impressive. I am your queen. If you defy me, you will pay the ultimate price. You don't want to know what happens to my enemies. What's a royal pardon?
Sirius foi mal, só gosta de ver a live pelo YouTube. Não, você gosta de ver a live pelo Facebook também. A sua mente está enganada. Você gosta de assistir pelo Facebook. Eu sei que você gosta, cara.
Oh, come on.
Manda o gema se rolar um nude. Não.
Really, Tina?
Nice.
Nude é
Don't look at
pacote
me
dos
like that.
deuses. Gemas não.
Really.
Faz as tetas
She's
games
also
que eu
a
dou
queen. She's like a
gemas.
priest- She's like the high priestess, but also a queen.
She's got a lot of
Ai, que
responsibilities.
merda, né, cara?
And eventually murdering her enemies on the battleground.
Se
of
prostituindo
gods.
pra ganhar
That's
gemas.
that list.
Que
Yes, but
absurdo.
nicely.
Nicely. Yeah, just a friendly
do you
little
think
murder, you know?
Don't mind me, guys.
Sometimes it
No,
happens.
she lets Bub do it.
Oh, Bub, the one who gets it all done for her. Some awesome effects there on that one. Shouts to the VFX team. Next up, we've got.
Cheguei da aula agora, Sirius. Perdi uma coisa importante? Não, porque esse patch note já foi passado, né? Falei Neto Play. Web namoro é igual bezerro, macho. Não sabem necessariamente quando vai ter chifre, mas certo que vai ter.
Oh,
Holy
good,
God,
yeah.
that is
Pare com
really where
isso,
you get it
cara.
going.
Pare com
This
isso.
is a same part of that Pixel Buster line, and the sound effects are really good on these abilities. Or so
Você
on.
está sendo muito tóxico. Tá rolando live no Face também? Não. Depois dessa daqui vai ter no Face. Daqui é só o patch note.
These pixel skins always seem to have so many moving parts.
Pixelation stuff. It's always
Yeah.
moving.
The accents of the pixelated parts of these skins are just really nice.
Not the color changing ones, but the ones that move around
Right.
with that pixel theme. let's see what we got here. Ooh, I like it. I like that sound. It's like kind of muted, but you know it really hurts. Yeah. That is, I like where that's going. There's the hammer. I'm being a little quiet because I want to hear these sound effects because of what it's been put on the page here, but it also because these Pixel Buster ones always seem to have that same thing. Oh, look at that. Like, little blocks.
Joga de rela.
Tetris wall.
Yeah,
vamos ver se vai ter desafio, né? Se vai ter desafio das Stars.
Ooh, yeah, listen to that.
That was cool.
As Stars.
He's powering up as he's spinning around. I love that.
Live no YouTube, falei, Michael, mas a gente vai pro Facebook, cara. O YouTube é só o Pet Note. Daqui a pouco a gente tá lá no Facebook. Não fique feliz.
Nice.
That hammer,
yeah.
Awesome.
That looks good.
Love that targeter that you can have with that. Really gives that is
dope.
Power right there.
Bring down the hammer.
That's
Yay, Ramon.
And then the pixel explosion. It's great.
That's awesome. Of course, Pon is gonna show off the old Thor combo for everybody.
Make me more.
Let's take a listen to this voice pack here. This one voiced by Jordan-Cruz.
Mas os gods novos saem hoje? Não, não saem hoje. A esperança é o que acontece. Esse Patch Note já foi apresentado segunda-feira lá no site. A esperança é que no final desse Patch Note é que eles deem algum spoiler do Rei Arthur, entendeu? Que é o próximo deus que deve sair. Eu vou estar no Face até as 21 horas, ô filósofo. Sirius, tive um web namoro com uma menina que tinha namorado real. Na sua opinião, ela estava traindo ele? Depende do que é trair, né? Algumas pessoas trair é ficar com alguém, para outras pessoas é trair a confiança, não sei.
I love it. I get the vibe that he's a dude.
Quando começar a live no Face, joga uma arena de Nizar?
Pixel world and is now like so much cooler than he used to be.
And it's
really taking advantage.
Just living it up.
Yeah.
Pizza ou batatinha? Pizza.
So it's cute.
Yeah, it's perfect. There it is, Pixel Buster or Pixel Hammer. Thor. Next up, my favorite skin.
Oh yeah,
This is my favorite one as well.
I knew it was your favorite.
Esse Zeus aí
Literally,
estranho.
again, on my sheet it says, "This skin is nuts.
You're welcome, aggro."
Yeah. I appreciate that, and I truly do.
Dude.
Infernal Lord Zeus.
Já foi divulgado as skins da nossa PP?
No!
Já, ué, mas divulgadas, né?
Pawn, we're supposed.
That's not right.
Não é essa skin, é pra mostrar
do
dos
this
Zeus.
one first. Titan Forge Ymir is really good, and I like it a lot, but I was really excited for the Zeus skin. Yeah.
Wait, no, they're still messing with us.
We got
Trolling hard over there.
I love the card art. I mean, all these peasants jumping at me. That's me in my ranked games where I'm playing.
I don't think
Zeus
those are
and I'm
peasants,
so cool.
dude. Those are just little.
In comparison to me, peasants, little mini demons. Okay.
But they're on your team.
Yeah. If you've seen my teammates, then
You can't claim those guys.
yeah, no, I definitely.
Joga a Conquista de Zeus, galera. Eu vou poder jogar com todos esses personagens lá no Facebook. Quando eu estiver fazendo a live lá. Agora no momento não tem como eu fazer isso.
Dude, look at his teeth.
It's
Zoom.
impressive.
That is spooky.
So creepy,
So
dude.
good.
That is really spooky, and I love it.
Does he ever open his mouth?
I hope not. I can't imagine what's going on inside that mouth with all those teeth. They're
6 tongues.
too much. So, wow, 6. Okay, that's a lot. This skin looks absolutely awesome. Let's get to the ability. I can't wait. I just want to see all of it, all the time, because I am super.
Essa skin do Zeus é legal. Eu gostei dessa skin.
He's got fire
Dude, yeah,
lightning
he's
bolts.
fire.
Você pra receber ela, né?
I think
It's
this.
fire lightning.
Quem sabe eu não faço um
Yes,
sorteio
it's
da
fire
mesma.
lightning.
I think this guy had the best effects of the patch.
Yeah,
it looks so good.
Look at that fire lightning!
So cool.
Yeah, I mean, Effects had like a really big patch here, a ton of good skins, but this one is just ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sold.
Even just the cloud under.
Posso fazer um desafio pelo sub? Pode?
It looks so good.
Me informa lá
Some
no
little lightning bolts
Face.
in there.
That is so
Qual a melhor
dark and
lane
stormy.
para o Ribot? Jungle.
I love everything about this.
Gamer noob.
It's looking awesome. All right, let me see the ult. I gotta see the lightning storm. Oh, that is excellent.
It's so good, dude.
Me informa lá no
Opens up a
Face.
literal portal of
To hell.
fire death in that moment. That is awesome. I'd imagine that the ultimate line is kind of a carryover from regular Zeus. I would expect something a little bit different there for that one. Oh yeah, it does say Tina is freaked out by his teeth. That was on the list.
Does it really say that?
Yeah,
Sirius, fica aqui mesmo, o YouTube é tão mais leve. Cara, infelizmente eu não posso ficar aqui porque eu tô tentando a parceria com o Facebook. Eu espero que você entenda e que me ajude, viu? Vá comigo para o Facebook. Juntos nós iremos crescer e fortalecer a nossa comunidade.
Remarkable. I am all that is terror. Pain is all that you shall know. I am power incarnate. They call me evil, but I like to think of myself as a murder hobbyist.
Oh my god.
Casual, yeah.
I once tore a man's arm off. That's it. That's the joke.
Wow.
Yeah, you
Dude, he's so dark.
Será exclusiva?
Yeah, that is a good
Sim, será exclusiva.
That is awesome.
Eu já fiz um vídeo sobre as skins, depois você dá uma olhada. Será exclusiva, sim.
Yeah, you're welcome,
That
dude.
was for me, and I know it. All right, last but certainly not least, Titan Forge Ymir. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, a kind of a celebration of our new studio name and all the good stuff that the folks behind the scenes are working on. And the logo for Titan Forge imprinted
Queria
on
skin para a Era.
club.
Skin para a Era deve vir ano que
Kind of like
vem.
where Chalk got a hammer instead of his axe. Normally Ymir's got the big club. This time it's a hammer. And that's awesome. And how difficult is that, Tim?
Como vai ser para conseguir a skin do Zeus? É por baú.
So we try our best to
Pet
stick
Notes tá uma
within
merda como
confines
sempre.
of proportions from like
Como
past
você
skins and
desviou
whatnot.
disso? Você desviou.
But if we have one that we're trying to branch out on a little bit to make it more unique, we will make a new secondary for it and send it off to animation to do some cleanup for it.
And animation usually takes over from there.
Manda um salve pra minha mãe, Eunice. Ela vê os seus vídeos. Salve pra Eunice. Eunice, muito obrigado por estar assistindo os meus vídeos, tá? Eu não sei porque você assiste, você joga Smite, eu não sei, algum motivo você deve assistir. Pra fiscalizar também, pra ver que seu filho tá assistindo, mas tenha certeza que eu estou cuidando muito bem dele. Não estou ensinando ele a falar
Dude, the ice cream
palavrão.
sandwich wall is pretty dope.
It's right there with it. It really is.
Eles se baseiam em algum em aquele God que vai ganhar assim pela popularidade. Em qual God? Talvez.
That's definitely a strong capability that this Ymir has. That looks amazing. I love it. That is super cool, and that's just the first ability of many. So yeah, he's in this skin. Ymir is the smith that is he's kind of taken over Vulcan's usual
He's
duties.
the smith of the gods, yeah.
Yeah, taken over for what Vulcan usually does. There he's laying out a brick that all explodes into those spikes. That is awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I'm loving that.
That's not right.
That'll have to get fixed.
That's actually fire, and then they turn like a bronze.
Yeah,
okay,
the
they do
bronze.
turn
Yeah, it's
bronze.
updated on our dev server, but whatever this build is doesn't have it in there.
Little
But
bit
it is
different.
fixed. It will be in there for live.
It's the same. So that is the correct sort of freeze on the gods, but it will be red instead of blue.
Right.
Coming out there whenever we get the.
And the ult's pretty cool because there's a friggin' timer.
No,
see,
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
building out.
Yep.
That is awesome. That looks really, really good. And you're gonna be doing a lot of damage with this ultimate, which Ymir always ends up doing.
I wish you can like Sparta kick them into the forge and it just burns them.
That would be a different character. But very cool. And that's definitely.
New abilities on this skin.
Yeah.
Buy
Completely
this Ymir skin and
revamped.
get a different Ymir.
Yes.
Exactly. Something a little bit different. It does say here that he has a special death animation.
Oh yeah,
He
because he doesn't
does.
shatter. You tell him.
Yeah, so classically all of
Sirius,
the
me dá
Ymirs can be
atenção.
shattered or melted for Ice Cream Ymir, but this guy actually dies
Como é que eu vou te
like
dar
a human,
atenção, cara?
which is a brand new death thing, so
Ele
it
tem
opens
atenção
up
pra te
the
dar.
possibility for future skins, so he doesn't have to shatter
comprar uma
or have a
atenção pra
simulation
você.
made for him.
His fire goes out and his forge on his back.
Lembrando que a live stream no Face vai começar daqui a pouco. Eu vou mandar o link pra vocês, meninos e meninas, que vocês venham, se inscrevam na minha fanpage, vai ser linda a live stream. Hoje a live stream tá com um clima totalmente diferente das outras live streams. Hoje eu vou jogar no BR, olha só, eu jogando no BR, que delícia. Mandando o link pra vocês aí, tá? Já segue minha fanpage lá que a gente vai jogar lá daqui a pouco.
One must be very precise when crafting for gods. And when fighting,
Eu não quero skin, eu quero um jogo melhor, verdade.
loves to listen
Eu vou pro Facebook depois que acabar esse patch note.
Smith, we riveting. If you had a really big forge, think you could call it a Titan forge?
Nice.
Very nice.
Subtle.
Yeah. I think I get that one, but I'm not quite sure. Can't wait to turn all of my enemies into copper when with this skin. Definitely my favorite part of that one is the
Boa, Sirius, spamando o chat, tem que spamar.
That looks awesome. Just a patch full of incredible
A live
skins.
da Raré só tem baba-ovo, com certeza.
Zeus,
Eu critico, eu não tô nem aí.
good.
Eu gosto do Smite pra caramba.
Thanks so much for joining me here on the casual set, guys. Before we close it out, we do have Graham standing by with a couple people from the community team to go over some awesome
Com o buff do Emília se torna um bom pick. Melhora um pouco, né? Alguma chance de eu jogar com você hoje? Tem, porque eu vou jogar no servidor BR, então você vai poder jogar.
Guys, first thing, what the hell happened? What's skill shot, high-res TV? When did
E aí, Marcelo?
New channel, newbie. So high-res TV has
So you did this?
I did this. I always do this.
Okay, explain why.
So high-res TV.
Vamos jogar hoje? Falei, ué, se vocês entrarem na fila na mesma hora lá, vai dar pra jogar.
It's kind of with like Titan Forge being Smite, and then you got Evil Mojo Paladins. Well, Skillshot is all production stuff and esports stuff in general, right?
Yep. High-res esports is now Skillshot.
Well, on top of that, though, the next thing about esports and Season 6 as well. When the hell are we getting information?
Next week.
You promise?
Next week.
Okay. And what kind of information will we get? Do you know?
So we're going to start getting a little bit more information about Season 6 details, what that's going to look like for SPL and SML, and what also
tem que criticar. Qual a sua gamer tag? TvSerious. Pode dar ghost na fila, pode.
Speaking about all these exciting things for next year. And we get to see all the players go into free agency eventually as well. We'll give it all.
Pode dar ghost na fila, sim.
Next week, so very excited about that. That's esports side, but
we have one more esports thing actually.
We do. I didn't have that
very exciting thing.
It better be exciting now.
Oh, it is. It is very exciting. So Obey is doing a documentary about their time in the SPL, about Smite
It's not exciting because they're leaving.
And I know it's very bittersweet. But they have a documentary premiering tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST.
Cool. So everyone can tune in and check that out. Is that going to be all over social media, I guess?
Yeah, it's going to be on ours, it'll be on Obey.
Eu joguei ontem de madrugada, eu entrei e joguei uma partida no BR.
I saw an early cut and
tinha um cara chorando lá.
All the
feels. Yeah.
Is it a feels one? Get the tissues, boys and girls, and not for the other reasons. Dirty. Anyway, Isaiah, on to you next. 31 days, it's Christmas, right?
Exactly.
What's going on?
We're kicking off December in a big way with an all-new event for Smite. It's called 31 Days of Smite. Each and every day in December, there's going to be something new for you guys to hop in on, whether it be in-game sales, in-game events, all sorts of social media giveaways.
In-game events, what do you mean by those?
Teremos vários eventos em dezembro.
Party up weekends,
okay, cool.
2 times everything, 3 times FP maybe, and
I'm going to see all these things
storm.
Over the 31
days?
days?
Over the 31 days of December.
Okay, that's
finally
pretty good.
finish out the season ticket.
Exactly, that's right. Get those fantasy points up. But what I'm most excited about is a new initiative we're doing in December.
Yeah.
It's called December with Devs. So starting in December, you're going to be able to tune into mixer.com/SmiteGame and see some of your favorite Titan Forge staff on stream, playing your viewer games, doing Q&As. We're going to have all sorts of different types of shows that you guys can tune in. That way we're just hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, keep an eye on that through the whole of December and even going into January. We won't be having the esports side, but we're going to do a lot of shows with you guys, hopefully.
Em quais modos você joga mais? Joga mais Conquista e Arena. Você poderia voltar a jogar igual ontem, jogar Liga BR com o microfone ligado. Eu tentei fazer isso ontem, mas não deu certo, não achou partida.
Chat with you guys live on air about anything you wanted to do with Smite.
Yeah, I can't believe they gave you, what is it, like 2 hours to do whatever you want on stream?
They gave me 2 hours.
I don't know why I did that. Like,
I make a talk show where fans can come and talk or try and troll and get trolled back in response. Anyway, that's it from you guys. That's it from all of us here. It's time for us to call it a day. Thanks for tuning in for the Patch Note show. Obviously, the usual Patch Note schedule will be coming back.
Acho que foi isso o Patch Note deles, tá?
This time, boys and girls. So make sure you tune in a couple of weeks' time.
Aí sim, Ramon. O Patch Note deles foi isso, não teve nada de bom, é a mesma coisa. A esperança era que mostrassem alguma coisa diferente que fosse, né? Enfim, mostrou esse finalzinho, um evento que vai acontecer em dezembro, mas foi um Patch Note que a gente já esperava o que ia acontecer. Galera, o que vai acontecer agora? 2 minutinhos, eu vou fechar essa live stream aqui, eu vou abrir a live stream no Facebook, estão todos convidados a curtir a página e acompanhar a live stream. Eu vou jogar no BR, então qualquer um pode entrar na fila e jogar comigo ou contra mim, tá? Então vejo vocês no Facebook. daqui 2 minutinhos. Um abraço pra todo mundo, obrigado a todo mundo que assistiu aqui. A gente se vê lá.